Hi everyone, this is Mountain Spirit Witch, and now this is part 3 about why I wear only plant-based fabrics, no animal fibers going on my skin. I only buy and wear plant-based fabrics. And so I'm going to talk about the vegan-friendly options of fabrics that you can wear and buy. So before I talked about the why cashmere is animal cruelty, and I talked about wool being animal cruelty. And so now I'm going to give you the alternatives. So first we're going to talk about the natural vegan fabrics, which are cotton, hemp, linen, and cork. Then I will discuss the semi-synthetic vegan fabrics, which are Pinatex, Cupro, Lyocell, Modal, bamboo, and vegan leather. Then I'll talk about the synthetic vegan fabrics, which are polyester, nylon, and rayon, and just give you a rundown of these. So the first one is cotton. That is my number one choice. I only wear 100% cotton clothing, and it's always usually recycled cotton, because I usually buy recycled cotton fabric and make my own clothes, or I buy clothing from thrift stores and reuse it like that. So that's my number one choice, is cotton. So here it says cotton is the most popular natural fabric out there, making its way into about 33% of all textiles. While all cotton is a vegan fabric, the ways in which it is produced can take a toll on our non-human friends. Conventional cotton has been known to not only require a lot of water and chemical inputs, but it's also been shown to have adverse effects on animals like buffaloes, chickens, pigs, cows, goats, mice, pigs, as well as humans. One of the biggest issues with conventionally grown cotton is that it's one of the biggest consumers of pesticides, many of which are known carcinogens. Not only does this harm intended pests, but it can damage overall biodiversity, a chain that eventually harms other animals and even humans. Alternatively, one of the most sustainable vegan fabrics out there is conventional cotton's favored cousin, organic cotton. Organic cotton provides all the good aspects of cotton without any of the downfalls. It's a versatile, biodegradable, and compostable fabric grown and produced using much less water and chemicals. You can find organic cotton in a range of organic clothing, accessories, and housewares. And the next thing we'll talk about is hemp. Now, just a word on organic cotton. Organic cotton's great. It's a wonderful thing, but it can be very expensive. And that's why I choose to do recycled cotton instead. But, every now and then, if I find some good deal on organic cotton, sometimes I find recycled organic cotton, which is really cool. So the next fiber is hemp. Now, hemp is not my favorite because to me, hemp is not soft like cotton, so I don't like it for clothing, but it could be used for other things. When it comes to natural, durable, biodegradable, and contrary to misconception, non-smokable vegan fabrics, hemp fabric has taken center stage over the past several years. Coming from the high-yielding cannabis sativa plant, hemp is sustainable from farm to fashion. Hemp farms don't require a lot of chemical inputs, support and replenish the soil, and act as a carbon sink, meaning it absorbs a lot of CO2 from our atmosphere. From a wearable standpoint, it's a breathable, durable, antimicrobial, and UV protecting fabric. In some cases, hemp is still grown and treated with fertilizers and chemicals. To enjoy its natural benefits like 100% biodegradability, look for organic hemp, though don't discount hemp because it's not certified organic. The USDA organic certification is extremely hard and expensive to obtain and wasn't even available until 2014 for hemp. Less than 1% of hemp farms are certified organic, but far more apply organic farming practices. So there's hemp clothing brands that are becoming popular. And now we're going to talk about linen. Again, linen is also not my favorite. I don't really like the feel of linen clothes. Next in line is linen, one of the most natural vegan-friendly fabrics. Linen is a bast fiber, aka comes from a plant's stem. In this case, that plant is flax, a quick-growing, slow-sipping, cool weather-loving plant that thrives in European soil. Because of its minimal growing requirements and natural properties, organic linen is one of the world's most sustainable fibers. It has earned an A in common objectives made by Environmental Benchmark for Fibers. But non-organic linen has earned a C, so try to stick with organically grown linen if you have a chance. All right, the next one is cork. Now that's an interesting one. So cork makes things like sustainable wallets, belts, vegan shoes, and vegan purses. Fortunately, an unlikely suspect is making it easier for animal advocates to enjoy these items. Cork is a natural material you're likely familiar with, at least if you enjoy a good bottle of Pinot Gris on a hot summer day. But where does cork come from? Have you ever stopped the corkscrew to ask yourself? Cork is a product of the cork oak tree, particularly the spongy layer just underneath the outer bark. It can be harvested without harming the tree and spurs a growing process that causes the tree to consume large amounts of carbon dioxide. As such, cork oak forests are responsible for climate remediation and support a tremendous amount of biodiversity. Opting for an eco-friendly handbag from Carry Courage or a pair of recycled flip-flops or vegan sandals made from cork can help support this species. All right, now we're going to move on to semi-synthetic fabrics. And the first one's called Pinatex. And that is made out of fruit industry byproducts, the leaves of pineapples. This pineapple leather has many environmental benefits and social benefits. While it probably doesn't taste as juicy as the fruit of its origin, the prospect of an upcycled vegan leather is certainly juicy news on the slow fashion front, especially for more luxury shoes like the Ethical Heels by Joanne Vernay. The pineapple fibers are flexible and strong, and as a waste product, it requires 0 additional water inputs. Unfortunately, it does fall in the semi-synthetic category as it's coated with a petroleum-based material, making it non-biodegradable. Businesses are working to come up with an alternative, though. Alright, so that one's not so good. Cupro is the next one. Cupro fabric, also known as Cupra, is the vegan silk alternative, and it utilizes recycled cotton or cotton linter, which is a waste byproduct of the cotton farming, to create the delicately soft texture of its less than ethical counterpart. The excess and dead stock cotton fibers are put through a chemical bath, which turns it into a semi-synthetic fabric, much like Lyocell and Modal. Of course, it's done through a closed-loop process that recycles most of the water used. While this is a recycled and semi-natural fabric, it is admittedly one of the least sustainable on this list. The fabric has been associated with a lot of pollution in its production phase and was even made illegal to produce in the US. Oh gosh, so forget that one. Next is Lyocell. So Lyocell is a breathable, stretchy, and soft fabric that is often used as a vegan alternative to silk. It's classified as a semi-synthetic fabric that gets its start as the pulp of the fast-growing eucalyptus tree. Occasionally birch, bamboo, and oak are used too. That means it can be compostable depending on what it's processed or blended with. However, there is a slight drawback. Lyocell can be produced using a variety of different methods, some of which are less eco-friendly than brands might lead you to believe. In particular, it's critical we stay away from lyocell that involves irresponsible forestry and harsh chemicals to render the plant fibers something usable. That said, Tencel lyocell, produced by Lenzing Fibers of Austria, is the real vegan deal, as their lyocell is certifiably processed in a closed loop, meaning none of the water or solvents get dumped into the environment. All right, the next one is modal. Now, modal fabric is modeled off of lyocell because the fabrics are very similar. The main difference being that this semi-synthetic type of rayon is made from beech trees instead of eucalyptus. From trees that are durable and drought tolerant comes a buttery, soft fabric that is comfortable and compostable. There's one from Tencel who guarantees sustainable forestry harvesting and processing. All right, so that is that one. Then the next is bamboo. Bamboo fabric is always vegan, but is it always a sustainable fabric? Unfortunately, no. Bamboo has actually bamboozled a lot of sustainable fashion enthusiasts. On the one hand, this miracle sustainable vegan fabric comes from one of the carbon-hungry, fastest-growing plants on Earth. On the other hand, it is too often processed in ways that aren't nearly so green and eco-friendly. Unless it's made in a closed-loop circular process, it consumes a pretty significant amount of chemicals that get washed and leached into the environment. That means only a teeny tiny bit of this textile is actually sustainable. Organic bamboo and bamboo linen are your best bets for a place to start, but be sure to look for brands that specify they use closed-loop production if you're opting for a rayon-type version of bamboo, smooth, soft, or silky. The next thing is vegan leather. Vegan leather is a topic in its own right because it encompasses a variety of vegan fabrics. Unfortunately, if we were to make a list of what vegan fabrics to avoid, many types of vegan leather would make the cut. While animal leather is associated with a lot of negative environmental impacts, not to mention the death of animals, some types of vegan leather don't do much better from an earth standpoint. Namely, PVC or PU-based microfiber vegan leathers are big fashion no-nos being made from plastic using a super carbon intensive manufacturing process. Unfortunately, they're still the most common form of vegan leather. So that's not good. All right. Now the next one is polyester. Okay, we're getting into another category, which is synthetic vegan fabrics. First one of those is polyester, which I hate so much, except for fleece. Yes, so I like for coats, I like fleece jackets or like fleece, outerwear, fleece beanie hats, and fleece gloves. But anything that's going to be touching my skin, I like 100% cotton. All right, so now we've gone through the good and the sometimes bad, and now it's time we talk about the ugly or vegan synthetic fabrics. It's not first on our list of favorite vegan fabrics, but polyester is number one in terms of how often it's found in our clothes. Look at any clothing label and 60% of the time you'll see polyester listed. I would say it's more than 60%. This synthetic fabric has found a friend in fast fashion, and it's expected to make its way into more in our closets in the years to come. Polyester may be totally vegan, but it's totally petroleum-based. For a positive take on this plasticsy fabric, it's becoming more and more common to see rPET, recycled polyethylene terephthalate, made from some of the most common types of plastic waste. There's a brand called Reprieve. It's recycled polyester fabric. It's already transformed more than 25 billion plastic bottles into fashion products. So you just look for recycled polyester that's certified by the Global Recycling Standard, so you know it actually meets a minimum recycled content percentage, rather than just being 5% recycled, but labeled as if it were 100%. All right, so, and then it says if you do buy recycled polyester, make sure you get a Guppy Friend wash bag. Every time you wash your polyester pantsuit goes through the laundry, it will help catch the microplastics released every time a synthetic garment is washed. So what about fleece fabric? Fleece, which looks like fuzzy animal but is totally animal free, is simply a particular super soft styling of polyester. As with regular polyester, recycled polyester fleece is very much becoming a thing, especially in sustainable outdoor clothing. I'm going to pause here for a second and let this trash or recycling truck go through because it's so loud. All right. If one of the first things to come to mind when you think of fleece is Patagonia's classically colorful Cinchilla range of fair trade sweaters, you're in luck. Patagonia uses 100% recycled polyester to make everything in this line. All right, and then it's especially important to use a Guppy Friend when washing fleece, as it releases significantly more microplastics than any other type of synthetic. All right, nylon. Let's talk about nylon. Historically, nylon has been considered a miracle fiber used in everything from parachutes to parachute pants. Unless it comes in its recycled form, ECONYL, we respectfully disagree. Sure, nylon is a durable vegan replacement for silk that can also be woven into fibers strong enough to comprise ropes, but it's made from crude oil in an extremely pollutive process that results in a significant release of greenhouse gases. And when we're done with it, it takes hundreds to thousands of years to decompose, with much of it entering our oceans as microplastic and other pollution in the meantime. I can't stand nylon. I hate nylon. So the next thing is rayon. Rayon, or viscose fabric as it is often called, is one of those synthetic fabrics that keeps showing up in our closets. In fact, it's actually textile number 3 in terms of popularity, hence the heated discussion over rayon versus cotton and polyester for that matter. Unfortunately, aside from being a vegan fabric, rayon doesn't offer much way of benefits. It's made from plants and does provide a breathable and moisture-wicking fabric found in things like ethical leggings and other sustainable active wear. I'll have to pause for just a second. Okay, but to get it from plants to a pair of not so eco-friendly yoga pants, rayon must be exposed to a slew of chemicals like battery acid that are awful for people making the fabric and our planet. Bamboo rayon is a common vegan fabric, but as mentioned earlier, it's not always a sustainable option. All right, that is it on the fabrics. And so, of course, my favorite choice is recycled cotton, organic cotton is good. If you like the other natural fibers of hemp, that's your choice on that. Then we're going to talk about what fabrics are not vegan friendly. So this is just the quick list of ones to stay away from, which be wool. That includes cashmere, alpaca, merino, Angola, angora, mohair, vicuna, or lamb's wool. Leather. That includes alligator, camel, buckskin, calfskin, cowhide, crocodile, grain leather, lambskin, sheepskin, reptile, snakeskin, nubuck, and suede. Silk. While there's some confusion on the matter, this also includes piece silk. Down, typically sourced from ducks, geese, or another type of waterfowl. Taffeta, often made at least partially from silk. Tweed, a wool-based fiber. Tulle, in some cases, sometimes purely synthetic, but usually a blend of rayon, nylon, and silk. Velvet, in some cases, originally a closely woven silk fabric, but now may consist of cotton or synthetics. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to bring some awareness to the different types of fabrics because everyone needs to, buy clothes every year for themselves and for their families. So it's a huge issue, and we should think about our choices and do what's best for you, what aligns with your ethics, your moral values, what you consider important, and make your own decision. For myself, I choose to buy and use cotton and fleece when it comes to outerwear, and I avoid all of the non-vegan fabrics. And that's just my personal preference and choice. So yeah, there's so many issues with many of these materials that affects animals' lives, that also affects the earth, and we want to do things. I want to make decisions that are the least harm for animals and the planet. So thanks for listening, everyone, and you all have a great day.